Here's another story, bro. Here's another one for you. You were doing shoot interviews, quote unquote, with guys leading into the show. So Steiner would have a shoot interview, with Mike Tenay, Scott Hudson. Like they would do a sit down interview. Goldberg would have one, Nash would have one, and that's going to become a triple threat match for the number one contender for Booker T's championship at Fall Brawl. So the next pay-per-view, they're getting a title shot. What was up with these shoot interviews? Because they seem to be, quote-unquote, breaking the script here.
I would really have to, John, I'd really have to know what they said. You know what I mean? Because I promise you they were shoot interviews, but they were controlled shoot interviews, whereas the talent wanted to make them really seem as real. And I'm sure they were dropping some truth bombs, but we were crafting it to go in the direction that we wanted it to go. So I really, and I mean, if, we can do a whole other show looking at those interviews, I would really have to see what was said to know.
So the whole thing between the shoots and stuff, they're quote unquote not following the script. The whole angle is that they're not following the script, and you are the writer, and they're not following what you're going to say. Why do that? What's up with that? I'm always kind of like worried about that or confused by that, because it's like these guys, it is wrestling. We know it's scripted, but now you're telling the fans that it's scripted and that they're not following the script.
Well,
What's up with that?
The fans already know it's not scripted,
right.
John. They've known it's not scripted since it was at carnivals. They know it's scripted without a shadow of a doubt. They know it's scripted. So basically, what when you're hitting me with this, like 25 years later, I'm going back to Vince Russo and where my mind would be. Where my mind would be is this: we've got a scripted finish. I need to have a winner. These guys really don't like each other. And, F a determined winner, F a script. We are going to go out there and really fight and see who wins. So that's the picture I'm trying to paint. Like these guys, there is such an animosity towards each other that they're not going to go with the plan.
Isn't it too inside baseball though, or you don't think it's too inside baseball?
I don't think it is. John, you got to understand, man. After the Attitude Era, we needed to go to that next level, and to me, that next level was improvising. Not everything was scripted. Like, bro, I told you when we did TNA, the guys didn't even know I was in the state of Tennessee, and I used to walk in the building and they used to have to react. That's where I wanted wrestling to go. So a lot of little things like this were more, experimental, because I really felt that this is the direction wrestling should have gone in. And when you look 25 years later, it has totally gotten into the reverse.
So let's get into the show itself, because and we'll get into that more as far as not following the script and what Goldberg does and what Nash and Steiner's reaction to what Goldberg does. So we will get into that. But I just thought it was interesting that kind of the whole thing about that little feud, that little triangle there, is they're not going to follow the script, and they're obviously have animosity towards each other, but that what's going to happen if they don't follow the script, and then they're basically saying they're going to shoot on each other.
Here's the thing, and I'm being totally honest with you, 25 years later, I only watch the WWE. I don't watch anything else, and I'm going to stop watching the shows in like 4 months. When I watch these matches, I don't believe anything I'm seeing. Nothing, bro. Nobody sells anything. The acrobats and the flips and the flops, I don't believe anything I am seeing. Now, if you're asking me as a television viewer and a casual fan, I much rather see a presentation where people are saying, wait a minute, is this real? Like, do they really not like each other? I'd much rather see that than freaking watch match after match after match where I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, this fake bullshit could not get any worse. So I would do the same exact thing today.